Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for always checking in. For my returning viewers, I appreciate the great job you're doing. I am so grateful. And for the first time viewers, you're most welcome. This is Lillian Zida yet again with a brand new video. Remember to like, subscribe, share if you feel it's interesting. So today we are going to prepare chicken. Let's dive right in and start the process. So I start by chopping my chicken into moderate pieces. So I make sure that the pieces are not so big and not so small. They're medium size. So we go ahead and chop the chicken. It's very easy to chop chicken. What I usually do, I place my order, then it's cut for me. They don't bring me a live chicken, it's cut for me. So this is really fresh chicken, not from the supermarket. It was a live chicken that was cut and delivered. So after slicing the chicken into small pieces, we boil. I get the chicken boiled. I usually use a pressure cooker, so it's faster. So once I'm done boiling my chicken, I embark on chopping and slicing the different vegetables and spices that I'm going to use as ingredients for bringing our chicken to taste. So first and foremost, I add vegetable oil in the cooking pot. Then I add onions. I usually use red onions. These are the popular onions in my country. So for that big size of chicken, I've used 2 medium-sized red onions. So for me, when I'm preparing onions, I don't let them turn brown or become brownish. I add the onions and give it just a few minutes, not like 1 or 2 minutes. Then I add on the tomatoes, as you can see. So I wait for these tomatoes to cook. I want them to be soft so that they can produce that nice juice. Yes, remember to like, subscribe, please, my dear viewers. If you haven't subscribed, remember to subscribe. Like the video as well. This motivates me and the channel keeps growing slowly but surely. So our tomatoes are still cooking. We're gonna give the tomatoes a little minutes to boil and soften so that they can produce all the juices in them. So after a few minutes, our tomatoes are ready, and the next step is we're adding more vegetables. These are carrots and green pepper. So as you can see, our tomatoes are ready, and yeah, you can see that it's time for us to add other vegetables so that we can go on with our cooking. So as I'm cooking, my son always likes sitting nearby, as you can, he's right there. He looks at everything, watching everything that I'm doing. So I'm currently adding tomatoes, carrots and green pepper. This bringing that nice flavor, and also the color in the pan just gives you the appetite to eat, even if you didn't have the appetite. Yeah, so there we go. Just look at that. Cooking is an art. I love cooking. So we're going to give it a few minutes before we add our spices. I don't put a lot of spices in my food because I want to taste that natural flavor in the ingredients. So in my mortar, I have some garlic. I used about 4 cloves of medium-sized garlic and ginger, 1 medium-sized ginger. I love ginger in the food. There is that nice aroma it produces in the food. So that is my garlic and the ginger being added. I'm adding the ginger and the garlic. So we are going to mix up them with the vegetables that are already in the pan. As you can see, there I go, I'm mixing them. You make sure I make sure I mix these thoroughly so that the flavors can blend in within the different vegetables and the ginger as well. So our next step is I'm adding this spice. This is an all-purpose spice. I prefer beef flavor in chicken. I prefer beef flavor in chicken than the chicken flavor. So that particular spice is called Royco Mchuzi mix. It has so many spices in it. That's why I don't add anything else. Once I've added the Royco, the fact that it's already a mixture of different spices, that is enough. So I don't usually have a measuring spoon to measure this. The fact that I cook a lot, I can just measure by seeing, like, when I pour, I can tell that this is enough. That's why I don't use a measuring spoon, but with time I think I need to get a measuring spoon so that I can be consistent with my flavors. So there we go. Just look at that. As I'm mixing this, I just can't wait to have this food served and I crush it. So yeah, so we're going to give this a few minutes for it to boil, and so that the flavors and the spices and the vegetables blend in together, their flavors. So after a few minutes, I'm adding the chicken. I'm going to add in the chicken. Yeah, for purposes of making the video short, I'm not going to show every step, but my next step is scooping the chicken from the pressure cooker and putting it in mixing it with our vegetables and spices. So there we go. So as I was boiling the chicken, I think I overboiled the pressure cooker. I left the chicken in the pressure cooker for long. So I decided to turn it into a boneless chicken. So I removed all the bones and it's just the flesh. Look at that. So yeah, this is what turned out. I also added in some potatoes, as in Uganda we refer to them as Irish potatoes. So that's our result. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.